Hello, I am Marcus and welcome to this new episode of EV Journey. Please don't forget to click subscribe below because I want 1,000 subscribers if possible so I can do the 1,000 kilometer trip in Portugal, and I want to do it when I've got 1,000 subscribers. It's going to be different than the other 1,000 kilometer trips you've seen because I'm going to add a Portuguese twist to it. I'm going to talk about the speakers again in my ID.3 first. In my video of the opinions, I'll leave the link below, I said there's no speakers in the back, and there's not. There's only speakers at the front, one here and one the other side, and this speaker in the corner, one there, and one bigger speaker here. And I told you that the music didn't sound very good at all in the car. I didn't think so. So I want to actually compare the ID.3 first. This is the first base. I think the first Plus has the same sound system, only the Max has a better sound system with rear speakers. I want to compare this against my JBL, if you can see that when I go out here, my JBL Bluetooth speaker. Now I've had this speaker for 2 years and this speaker's very good. It's Bluetooth, it comes with its own battery. This is called the Charge 3. It's waterproof, it's excellent, and I used to use it a lot in the good old days, in 2019, when we were allowed to do things called garden parties. You've probably forgotten about those in 2020 because I think they've been abolished by the governments for some reason or another. Now, I think that this may sound better in the car than my ID.3 first speaker. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a GoPro and it's got a nice big round speaker here because it's the media mod version. And I'm going to stick this to the window and we're going to test a song that I got from YouTube, and I'm allowed to play it on YouTube, called Ocean View. I'm going to test that song on the ID.3 first sound system, but I'm going to test it while we're driving because to me it makes more sense to test the sound system while you're driving and not driving. And then I'm going to go on the same journey and test it on this JBL speaker. Obviously with a JBL speaker I'm going to have to Bluetooth it to my phone, so I've got the music on my phone as well. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you what I preferred, honestly, for music. If I preferred the JBL speaker in the car, if I preferred the ID.3 first music system. Now, hopefully, you will be able to hear the difference. But obviously, the sound is being filtered by the microphone. It's being compressed into YouTube. It's coming through your speakers. So I'm not sure we're going to get the full effect here, but I'm going to give you my opinion about it, and hopefully you will be able to hear a difference. So let's start. We're going to start with the ID.3. Just before we start, what I am going to do also is set the music very loud, so I'm probably going to make myself deaf. Oh, there's Zoe behind me, that's good. Starting sound far now, increase the volume. So music's come to an end. So we've just listened to the music in the ID.3 first, with the ID.3 first speakers, and to me they were definitely lacking something. Obviously this is not the best track. I'd have loved to have bbeen able to play some superb music by Kylie Minogue or somebody else, but that's not possible with YouTube restrictions. So we're back to the same starting position. So what we're going to do now is, here I've got the JBL. Now because this speaker's here and these speakers here, I'm going to actually put it there. I'm hoping it won't roll around too much. I could try and stick it down here, but it's going to go roll around more. But here I think it's a better position for it, to be honest, and it's nearer my ears. So we're going to see if this gives better music sound than the ID.3. I'm just going to set it up now, and I'm going to play the same music but via Bluetooth, via my Android phone, directly to the speaker. So I'm just going to start the music now, stopped, because I can't start it while I'm actually driving because it's on my phone. So let's start. So that was the JBL speaker. So to me, the JBL speaker for the music just seems to give it a little bit more depth. Now, I wouldn't say it was amazingly better than the ID.3. I don't think either are particularly that impressive, but I'd say it's marginally better than the ID.3 first. I'd love to know your comments and opinions to see if you could hear any difference and what you actually think. However, the best car I've ever driven with the best sound system I've ever heard was the Tesla Model 3 long range, and the sound system in that was absolutely outstanding. It was out of this world. I didn't expect the ID.3 to be that good, but I didn't expect it to be this bad either. It's definitely lacking depth, and even with this JBL speaker, I think they're about €150, something like that, the sound to me gave a bit more depth. I think that's what's missing from the ID.3. There's just something missing in the music, depth or something. It just doesn't sound good. I mean, and in this JBL speaker, it's only a speaker from one position, where we've got left and right speakers on the ID.3, but even so, the JBL speaker to me just gives a bit more depth. I'm using standard settings on the ID.3 first. I'm not using, wait a minute, don't run the dog over, or cat, whatever that is. I'm just using the standard default settings in the ID.3 first. The JBL, I don't think you can even change the settings, so you know, these were just default settings. I have changed the settings before and it doesn't seem to improve the music whatsoever. One thing I will say is, for audible books and for podcasts, just for speaking, the ID.3 first is absolutely fine. The voice comes over very clear, very nicely. And on the JBL speaker, for voice, the sound is not good at all. So it seems the JBL speaker is better for music, not so good for voice. Now I'm going to play the original soundtrack that I've added on the video editing software, so you can hear it. Please leave your comments below, because I'm very interested to know what you think about these results. Thank you. Don't forget to click subscribe if you want to see the 1000 challenge in Portugal, and thank you again. Bye.